Okay, starting with question number 8. The point 32 ends up in the first quadrant. Okay, question number 9. It says graph this line by completing a table of values. And you won't have to do, if you want to use the y-intercept of a -4, see that? And then you can go,
down one.
yes,
Question is this number 8?
this is number 8, yeah. Then you can go down 1 and run 2. Then you've got the line, so you don't have to make tables. Tables are a strategy, but for me, they're not that effective. So when I check your work, I will be looking for at least 2 points that are on the line. I know it's hard to get a perfect line, but do the best you can.
Yes,
Is that okay? Does anybody want to do a table of values?
sounds complicated.
It's a little more mathematical. This one is just to use those 2 numbers. As long as you remember this is the y-intercept and that's the slope, okay? Now the good thing, I don't know if you guys have worked on the review online. The good thing is you won't have to, on doing it on paper, it's easier to just draw a point instead of doing it on your iPad. So graph this equation by clicking on the y-intercept, so that is the -4. So you start there, sorry, I got it really zoomed in. And then going to the next point on the graph, so that's down 3. Uh-oh, I can't go down 3, what do I do?
Drop out.
No, you can go up 3 and back 5. Okay? Yeah, as long as one of them is going negative. So since I can't go down 3, I can go up 3 and then down 5. Okay? So that was a good question to have.
For sure.
Yes.
On the homework, I got a lot of the graphs around.
Yeah.
But it was just like a little bit. So does that count if it's close? Because like it's really unprecise.
It is. That's why I'm glad we're having the paper test. Now, I would retry on the homework.
Rachel, what?
Yeah.
Wait, question? No.
Okay.
No,
Your
I'm gonna
choice.
show you.
Your choice. Okay?
Show me.
All right. We're on number 10. Now we know how to write the equation of a line with the slope of 4 and a y-intercept of 2. So remember, it's y equals mx plus b. So in the answer, I would put y equals 4x plus 2. Because they're both positive, right? Okay. Okay, number 11 is algebra, because we have to find x. So we got to figure out the number. Remember, it's the y minus the y. You can go either way. You can take a -7 minus a -4, and then a 9 minus x. See how these two are the same point? And then the x. We got to find the x. They need to simplify to a -1. So how do you do that? Let's figure it out. That means the top has to be a number and the bottom has to be the opposite of a number. So this top number is -3, right? Because when you subtract a negative, you get a positive, right? -7 plus 4, okay? So we're taking -7 plus 4, you get a -3. Now, that means this bottom number has to be 3, because I need an opposite, because it has to reduce to a -1. So I have to solve this problem. What makes 9 minus what equal 3? 6, exactly. Okay, this -3 divided by 3 is a -1. Okay? So could you set that up without me? Practice, practice. Okay. So now we're going to find the y. So it's y minus 10 on top. Then the bottom is 8 minus 0. And that's got to equal a -3 over 4. Eek. That's pretty messy. Well, it isn't like I could set this guy equal to a -3 because 8 doesn't equal 4. Okay, you see why I couldn't do what I did up here? So we got to do some more algebra. Okay, y minus 10 over 8 minus 0 is 8 equals -3 over 4. Do you remember multiplying the loop and dividing by the outside? That's a -24 divided by 4. -24 divided by 4, yep, is a -6. That's what y minus 10 equals. The top has got to be a -6. And that makes sense. -6 over 8 reduces to -3 over 4. So add 10, and what is y? What do we get? What is y? Minus or plus 10. What's a -6 plus 10?
3.
4. Okay, there you go. That was a lot, wasn't it? Yeah. Because you want to be able to find a missing value of an ordered pair. Now, there is another way. You can like draw the graph and all that, but yeah. But if you don't want to draw the graph, you got to use algebra. It's one or the other. Okay, so if there is no slope, we have to put D and E. But if there is a slope, you can use that formula. Okay? -6 minus a -8 over 2 minus 2. Uh-oh. This is +2 over 0. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. This is no. We cannot divide by 0. You remember? You divide into 0, that's okay. But dividing by 0 is no. D, N, E. That's a vertical line if I graphed it.
What does that stand for?
Does not exist. Okay? So this one has a -4 minus -4 over 7 minus 6. That's a pretty ugly 7, sorry. But you always take the difference, yes. So when you add the opposite here, I get a 0 on top and I get a 1 on the bottom. That's okay. So what's 0 divided by any number?
0.
Yes. Very good. So if you're thinking this up in your mind, you know, you will get, this is the test, okay? Just you get different values. But remember on 13, one of them doesn't exist and one of them is 0. They'll probably throw you that same idea on the test. Just notice, you see the x's were alike, that made it a vertical line. The y's are alike here, that makes it a horizontal line. So here's just some arithmetic. -8 minus 9 over 3 minus 5. This is, if in doubt, you know, reduce it. You put that as a fraction in the calculator, you get a positive 17 halves. Okay? So that's what goes in your solution box. Yeah, yep, the negatives disappeared because a negative divided by negative is a positive. Okie dokie. It's staying negative.
Wouldn't it not be reducing? Because if you're switching to positive, you don't have. What did you say?
Reducing is about the simplest form, is all. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay, number 16. Back to graphing. So you give the slope for each graph. If there is no slope, oh man, what are we doing here? 15. I see no, oh, I get it, guys. It's really faint. You see this guy right here, this little bit of a dark line? And let me know on your test if you can't see those lines, okay? I'll point them out to you. So what's the slope of a vertical line? Oops. Because it never stops rising. No. Okay. But this one does not rise, so it's 0. So you got to have a value. And 0 is even a value if it doesn't rise. On this one, the x is 0 because it's 2 minus 2 or whatever. See, all the x's are 2s, so the bottom one will be 0. On this one, all the x's are different, but the y's are 0 because it's 3 minus 3. One way to remember, this is my silly way to remember. Vertical, the word, doesn't have an O in it, so there's no slope, okay? But horizontal, see, horizontal, O.
Horizontal.
Yeah, that has an O in it, so it has a slope of 0. That's my silly way to remember it.
Why is a letter that doesn't exist?
What's that?
Why is a letter that doesn't exist?
Is that right?
No.
Oh.
That, if you just think about that, you just remember it.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to say.
That's one way. That's one way to think about it. Yeah. You make your own story up, right? You don't have to use mine. Okay. How do you find a slope? Go from left to right, down. 1, 2, 3. Run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. I always go down and then run right if I can. And of course, you know, we ran into that one graph that wouldn't let us go down, so we had to do what we had to do. Yep. Alrighty? Mm-hmm. 17. Okay, now it's slope-intercept. Y equals mx plus b. So the equation always has a y equals, fair and square?
No.
Slope is negative 5/9 x plus 5. That's nice to give them in order. Here's the missing x again. See if we can figure it out. If the slope between these two is -2, then I take my y's, -9 minus a -1 over 4 minus x equals -2. So add those two. So I get a -8. You ready? Over 4 minus what is a -2. So what do I divide a -8 by to get a -2? 4. So x equals 0. Let's catch up. Okay. Those are the toughest ones, I think, on the test. What do you think? We go to the algebra side of you. I'm trying to shortcut the algebra, but I think this way you can see what you need and then just answer the question. You all are really good about that. A lot of times the algebra is just not what you need. So we put a 0 there. And you can always check your work. If I put a 0 here, I get a -8 divided by 4, and then I get my slope of a -2. So this one I need y minus a -9 over -1 minus a -7, and that's got to equal a 1. So I get y plus 9 over 6 is 1. So what am I going to have to, what am I going to have to put in the y space here? What am I going to have to put here so it equals 6? What plus 9 is 6? -3. There we go. Okay. There you go. Good number sense. Y is a negative. Oh, you still need that. Y is a -3. So set up know the slope equation, and then use your algebra skills to find the missing number. Whatever makes sense to you. There's several different ways you could do that. So just as long as you know how to set up the slope equation, that'll help. Alrighty. Remember, if I have the x's alike, it has no slope because it's a vertical line. See, the bottom is 0 because the top is -8 minus a -3. The bottom is a -4 minus a -4. So the bottom is a 0. And that is a no. No. That matches the no pattern. Okay. The next one? Oh, this is 20. The Y's, -9, oh pickles. Yep, you got it. You know their trick. -9 minus -9 is 0 on top. And then, as long as the bottom's not 0, yep, 4 minus a -7, yep, it is 0 divided by 11, which is 0. And this one's the Y's, 6 minus 10 over the X's, -10 minus 3. And simplify. -4 over -13. This comes a +4/13. You can check in your calculator if you want to reduce it. Okay. Set. For 22. Almost halfway. Okay, can you see the line, guys? Okay, mine is here. You guys all have that same copy. See that? You see it's just a little darker than like it goes through the number. That's when well, so does the others though, so that doesn't help any. So a vertical line does not exist because there's no O's in the word, no, because the rise never quits. And the horizontal has a slope of 0 because the rise is 0. Here, there is no rise. You can't calculate, bless you, infinity. So there is no rise. So D and E and 0. Okay? Now we're doing the find a point on a junction, they call it, and then go down to, and then you got to run till you hit another junction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, very good. Down to run 6, and got to reduce it because we could have went down 1, run 3. Yeah, reduce if you can. Okay.
That's the answer.
So, yeah, you got to reduce it if possible. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see this one. Otherwise, we would have got 1 over 3. Down 1, run 3. So, but it works on all of them. That's a beautiful thing. Okay? 23 done? Okay, 24 does ask you to do the table, so part of your question is the table, so you can't skip this part.
Hey, Miss, are we gonna have you use it?
Not till, no, because you got to study for your test, and then on your test, you can't use it.
Are we gonna take count as a graded? Is it graded?
No. The online is open for you to do.
Is that one gonna be graded? The online?
I'll grade it if you do it. If you don't do it, I won't grade it.
So is this just like the
Your
final?
choice. Yeah, that is the final, and so yeah.
Wait, but the one online is it like extra credit?
No, I'll just give you it won't hurt you. I guess you'd call it that, but it won't hurt you if you don't do it, okay? The only thing that will hurt you is that you will not be ready for the test, all right? And if you do it online, I can put it in as a grade for practicing the test.
So it's like extra credit.
Well, but you'll be the only one who gets it if you do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So is that extra credit?
Yeah.
Oh. I guess I never thought of it that way. Optional, I guess is what I call it. Optional grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Thank you.
Fair and square?
Yep.
Because if you're willing to put forth the effort, I'm willing to give you the credit. Fair and square?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
right here, we got to put in this in X and find Y. So 3 times the negative 4 plus 4Y is negative 16. So negative 12 plus 4Y is negative 16. You with me? Add 12. So 4Y is negative, ugly, 14, oh, 12. There we go. Negative 4. There we go. Divide by 4. It is negative 1. That was a fun one, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, now when I put in a 0, it's a lot easier because 3 times 0 plus 4y is negative 16. 3 times 0 is 0, right? So I just have to divide by 4, negative 4.
I do it different way.
And it works?
Yeah.
Okay. So what'd you get when you put in the 4?
Well, I'm not doing this one. I'm doing the homework.
What's that?
I'm not doing this one specifically, but I'm doing the homework.
Okay.
The homework I did a different way.
Did it? What did they do?
Oh no, I just solved the equation, right?
Yeah?
And then I grabbed the y-intercept.
Oh.
Then went with the slope.
Oh,
Then get
so-
the points for the graph.
Okay, you can do it that way, but right here, what'd you put in the table?
24?
Yeah.
I'm not done.
Okay, but see what I mean? You can go that extra mile. That's fine.
I did
No worries.
the graph first and then the table.
Ah, okay. That's fine. All right. So I'm going to put a 4 in here, right? So it's 12 plus 4y is negative 16. So we take away a 12. That's a negative 16, yeah. So I'm going to move over here because I am running out of room. Okay, 4y is a negative 28. So divide by 4, y is a negative 7.
I don't know what I got busy with. All of a sudden it's 13. I'll do it.
Would you do that without me? Negative 4, 1. 0, negative 4. 4 over negative 7. There we go. Is that match? 4, negative 7. There we go. It almost doesn't look like a straight line, but it is. Okay, whoa, you see that? Must be the distorted print, because it should go through it, shouldn't it? Oh, I see what I did wrong. See my problem? See my mistake? Negative 4, negative 1. There we go. Woo! I don't know who it was on the paper that you turned in, that graphing last week. Some of you did not draw the lines. If it says graph the line, you gotta draw a line. Otherwise, you don't get credit. Okay? So I went up 1 instead of down 1, but I found out I was wrong, so I could fix my problem. This is right, but my graph, I had a point graphed wrong. That's why they usually have you graph 3 points on a line, because you can make a mistake that way. Okay. So we're plugging a negative 4. So I get a 12 plus 4y is 4. 4y is a negative 8. So y is a negative 2. Put a 0 in there. I get 4y is 4. So y is 1. And you see how these went up 3? You can just add 3 to the next one like this. You can just add 3 to the next one, and, 4. You could skip the, that should be a 4, sorry. Okay. Add 4. Add 3 to get 4. Okay. Shh, gentlemen, please. So that's a shortcut if you want to do it that way. I'm trying to help you because I know it's going to take time, and sometimes algebra is not your strength, so there's other ways to get around it. All right, let's graph it. See if I can do it right the first time, right? There we go. Draw the line. And we're done. Here's match. Got the graph. Have fun with the line. Several of these. Okay. Oh, now, here you go. Caesar was talking about doing it a different way. He graphed the line and then found the points. You could graph the line, crossing at 2, and then up 3 over 1. And you can draw the line down 3, back 1, down 3, back 1. And from that, you can find where x is a negative 1, y is a negative 1. Where x is 0, y is 2. Where x is 1, y is 5. Yep, because the changes were 3. So, yeah. So thank you for sharing that, Caesar. Thank you. Okay, change of 3, yes. For number 26. I'm glad we spent last week making this. Okay, a couple more and we'll be halfway through. Are you ready? Okay, we got the magic. So, do you guys like the graph or the algebra?
Graph.
Okay. So we're going to graph the 6. That's where it crosses the y-axis, and then it goes up to run 1, up to run 1. Some of you were a little bit off on your slope. Instead of going up or down 2, 1, you went 2 and 2. So be careful. That might have been why your grade wasn't so good. On that worksheet. Okay. So at a negative 1, it's at a 4. At a 0, it's at a 6. That makes sense. A change of 2, right? What's this one? What's the next one in the table? An 8. Yes. You got it. Very good. Adding 2, right? Okay. Ready? Everybody got the graph? Everybody got the table? They both count in your points for the final. Okay, last one for today, 28. This adding up, so we'll have 20. This is 28. We'll have 29 to do tomorrow. This one's just 6 points. Negative 2, 2. 4, 1. Negative 3, negative 4. 3, 0. Where could you go? Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Where could you go wrong? People get 3, 0 and 0, 3 mixed up really easy, so be careful. Okay. 3, negative 5. And 0, negative 3. So you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts on this question. And it just says graph the points. So we'll finish the other 29 tomorrow.
Thank you, Miss.
Yes. Watch the video if you miss